My wife and I have two little boys, Jaden and Landon. Landon is 6 years old, Jaden is 9. And recently I had the opportunity to train Jaden on riding his bike without the training wheels. And that's us.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, go.
And that was such an awesome experience as a dad. That experience made me realize that there's nothing more rewarding than creating memories with our children and empowering them to make decisions on their own, like riding the bike without the training wheels. Like many of us, as business owners, we want to transfer our knowledge and empower our team to take great care of our patients, right? So today I will talk about patient journey, staging for success. But before that, I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you my story and my journey. I grew up in a poor family in Vietnam. And we were so poor that the roof of our house was built with long grass leaves. And the walls were simply wooden planks. We didn't have electricity or running water. We were so poor that the floor of our house was a dirt floor. After the Vietnam War, our family lost everything. And the communists put my dad in prison for 7 years because he was a lieutenant in the South Vietnamese army, fighting with the Americans. During that time, my mom stayed home, took care of 5 kids with no money and no family support. After the Vietnam War, after 7 years, my dad was reunited with our family. And that's us over 20 years ago when we were still in Vietnam. If you can identify me in that picture, I was the cutest one in my family. And I was the only one smiling in that picture. No wonder why I'm a dentist. In 1994, we were fortunate to have had the opportunity to come to this country. And when we first came here, we didn't have any money, and we didn't speak any English. So we had to start from scratch. It took a lot of perseverance, and it's a long journey, but we never gave up on our dreams. So remember this, wherever you are in your career, whether you want to be happier or you want to achieve even more success, it's never too late. Ray Kroc didn't start McDonald's until he was 52 years old. And Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until he was 65. At the age of 65, Colonel Sanders was driving all over the US, trying to grow KFC. He was driving all over the US, trying to turn his dream into reality. On September 2nd, 2013, a 64-year-old woman successfully swam from Cuba to Florida. She was swimming in the ocean for nearly 53 hours. She broke record and made history because she believed in herself. And she didn't give up after 4 failed attempts. Currently, I practice dentistry 3 days a week. On other days, I run a software company that I co-founded called Vision Stars. It's a review and customer engagement software for business owners in different industries to use to get more online reviews and to engage with their customers. And I also run a online dental supplies company that my wife and I co-founded last year to supply level 3 masks and nitrile gloves to dentists. And over time, we added more products on there. How many of you have ordered some from DentalMed PPE before? Maybe you did. Over time, I realized that it takes a great team and a great leader to build a successful company, especially in dentistry. These days, it's harder to operate a dental practice as dental corporations are growing and penetrating in the dental market at a rapid rate. These dental corporations have big fundings from private equities. They have millions of dollars to spend on marketing. So it makes it tougher for us as private practice owner to compete with them, as our pocket is not deep enough. But what we can do is we can be more creative with our marketing strategies and the way we take care of patients to differentiate our practice from other dental chains out there. So today I'll go over the 5 stages of the patient journey, and I will go over each stage in more detail during the presentation. The first stage is awareness. The second stage is engagement. The third stage is discovery. The fourth stage is treatment. And the fifth stage is the ongoing care. When we talk about the patient journey, the main thing that everyone should focus on is patient experience. How many of you have stayed in a 4 to 5-star hotel before? Right. What do you think the main difference between a 5-star hotel and a motel? Experience. It's customer experience, right? And how many of you would pay a little more to have a better experience on your vacation? Maybe you would. That's the reason why Apple, Disney's, and all the 5-star hotel focus on patient experience. One time I had a patient come in, and he's a director of the Marriott Hotel. So I asked him how often he trained his employees on customer service. And his answer was every single day. That's how important customer service is to the hotel business. So for dentistry, we really should focus on our patient experience and their journey, because we know the dental office is not a place where most people would want to go to, especially when they're having to pay a lot of money, getting shots in their mouth, and having their teeth and jaw drilled on. When your patient have a great experience, there are many benefits for your practice. So let's go over some key benefits of great patient experience. Number 1 is your patient will like and trust you more when they have a great patient experience. And when they like and trust you, case acceptance will go up. Patient retention will be higher. And your practice will get more referrals, more reviews, and even more video testimonials. And your practice will also have more raving fans. And also, the chance of getting sued is a lot lower, especially when you do a lot of big cases like Dr. Michael Tran. In April of this year, I invited an asset protection attorney to come and speak at our event. And he shared some interesting insight on how to protect yourself and your asset. So I'd like to share with you his insight.
Oh, Nathan, what you said up here about this, I've been to a lot of dental conferences in the last 25 years. This is it. You got the formula. This is correct. This is exactly right. But the thing I like most about what you said is that you got to take care of your patients. You got to be nice. You got to be, the number 1 reason that doctors get sued is what? Is it a bad outcome? No. Is it actual malpractice? No. What is it? Poor bedside manner. What they found is that doctors, physicians, continue to get sued. The same guy continues to get sued over and over again. Why? Because he's an asshole. Really, that's why he gets sued. Not because he did anything wrong, but because people don't like him. And so when they get the opportunity to sue because the lawyer's like, hey, wait, that thing didn't work, or you got infection, and you had to stay in the hospital 2 extra weeks, and they say, you know, we can sue for that. Well, if he was a nice guy, they'd say, no, I like him. I don't want to sue my doctor. It was okay. It wasn't a big deal. But if he's not a nice guy and you never liked him, well, it's easy to sue him. All this stuff matters so much. I have a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything.
How you do anything is how you do everything. Now, the ultimate goals of delivering great patient experience is to have more satisfied patients, happier employees, and happier dentists. When everyone is happy in a dental office, it's a win-win, right? Welcome to the Dental Win-Win Summit. Now, so how do we achieve that goal? One is you must understand the patient's journey and have a process in place to ensure every patient that comes to your practice will have a great patient experience. Delivering a great patient experience on a consistent basis doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Second is you must train your team on the process. And third is consistency. You and your team must be consistent to get consistent results. Now, how many of you have ordered food from Chick-fil-A before? Almost all of you, right? What do the employees say when you thank them? My pleasure. That's the process that Chick-fil-A created, and they trained the employees to consistently follow the process every time they interact with their customer. And Chick-fil-A is well known for that. It sounds so much better than saying no problem when your customer or patient say thank you, right? Now, there are 5 stages of the patient journey. And in each of these stages, your process and your team will either generate more patients for your practice or drive patients away from your practice. And write this down. It's only take one person or one bad incident to ruin the whole experience and lose a patient. Now let's go over stage number 1. Stage number 1 is when the potential patients heard about your business because their family members, friends, or coworker told them about your practice. Word of mouth endorsement is powerful. There's nothing better than having our own patients going out there to tell their friends, family members, and coworkers how awesome we are. Or your potential patients can know about your business from the advertisement that you send out. Or they search and found your practice online and read your reviews. In this awareness stage, there's one question that everyone should ask if you're a practice owner. And the question is, why should people choose your dental practice over other dental practices out there? It's important to ask that question because it will help you design your marketing campaigns. So when your potential patient read it, they would call and make an appointment. Same thing with social media and online reviews. It's important to have the kind of social posts and online reviews that when your potential patients read them, they would pick your practice over all your competitors. Now, 12 years ago when I first opened my dental practice with my partner, we were often broke and in debt. And one day, we had one patient on the schedule that I was so excited to see. 15 minutes before her appointment, she called and canceled. I was disappointed. Later, I found out that as she was on her way to our practice, she went on Google to get directions, and she saw one of our negative reviews. She read it, didn't feel comfortable, so she turned around. After that, I realized that that false negative review really affected our online reputation and was turning potential patients away. Now, write this down, your online reviews or your online reputation. And having a great online reputation is a great marketing strategy. How many of you have more and better reviews than your competitors right now? More and better reviews. Awesome. We know these days most people go on Google to read online reviews, or they saw your advertisement on Facebook or direct mails, and they go on Google to look for directions, and they go in to see your reviews. And if you have less reviews than your competitors, then most likely your competitors are attracting some of your potential patients away from your practice. You just don't realize it yet. It's important to ask your patients to share their stories and experience in their reviews, because we know that patients go online to read reviews, not just to look at the 5-star reviews and pick you, right? Now, sometimes we have new patients come in and we ask them how did they hear about our practice, and most of them would check Google and look at these patients. She checked smile makeover, veneers, and cosmetic consultation. All that is from Google. And one time we had a patient came in and accepted a $22,000 treatment plan, even before we really convinced him to go for the treatment plan, because he already trusted us. Now, recently, this year, I did a smile makeover for a special mom in our town, and she was so happy with her case. So we filmed a video, and with her permission, we posted it on Facebook, and we also paid Facebook to boost the post. And look at the result. The video had over 60,000 views, 44 shares, 331 comments, and almost 900 likes and heart. And that's the video. You ready?
I don't know.
All right, here we go.
Doesn't even look like me. You look so beautiful. It looks so good and so natural.
That's right.
See? You look so pretty. Thank you so much. Oh.
And that's her. We also ran an ad on Facebook to offer free consultation for smile makeover, implants, and braces to target the people that watch the video. And you can target them by 90% view, 50% view. It's very targeted. And from that post, we already have some patients come in and wanted the same service. And look at that. They put Facebook as the referral source, and they check smile makeover. And that's another one, all from that video. So the key strategy for this awareness stage is to have more exposure and to create better credibility for your practice. Now let's go to stage number 2, which is engagement stage. This is a stage where your potential patients call your practice to make an appointment or to ask questions. In this stage, how your receptionist answer the phone will determine if the patient or the potential patients go into schedule or not. And what your team member should know is sometimes it can cost up to $500 or more in marketing to get someone to call and make an appointment. Which means your receptionist should enthusiastically answer the phone and be friendly and helpful to the caller. Several years ago, we made a mistake. Yes, we do make mistakes. And hire a receptionist who wasn't very good on the phone at all. She had a habit of cutting the callers off every time they tried to speak. And because of that, we lost several existing patients and a lot of potential patients. To make the story short, she was untrainable, so we freed up her future at our practice. Later, we hired a better receptionist, and the result has been amazing. All our patients are a lot happier when they call. Now, there are 2 goals in this stage. One is to make sure the callers make an appointment. Right? The second goal is to make sure they show up. Right? To maximize your investment of time, money, and effort in stage number 1. And what is stage number 1, by the way? Awareness. That's right. Awareness. You can go back there, get a gift. Right? So to maximize your investment of time, money, and effort in stage 1, you need to prepare for the incoming calls and messages. And you need to make it easy for your patient to schedule an appointment. Now, the phone call is the first impression, and you won't have a second chance to make the first impression. Now, the second impression is when they show up to the appointment. When they show up to the appointment, make sure your space smell and feel good. And your receptionist should enthusiastically greet your patients and welcome them to your practice. One time I showed up at a doctor's office, and the receptionist would be on the phone, would point at the sign-in sheets for me to sign in, and signals me to sit down. And 30 minutes later, one of the assistants would come out to take me in for an exam. I had an excellent experience with the doctor, but not with the receptionist. It's important to make every touch point count, and every visit, the patient experience needs to be consistent. Now, let's take a look at some examples of bad customer service.
And I'll do the crescent rolls, and you do the cranberry. You know I can't cook.
Okay, well, can I place you on hold real quick while I check the knowledge base? All right, thanks.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. What? Nothing for you.
Yeah, well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Gobble, gobble. Oh, bye-bye.
This video is for Mike right here. It's important to make every touch point count and not to buy a house with a gate like that. Now let's go to the discovery stage. Before we go to this stage, what's stage number 1 again? Awareness. What's stage number 2? Engagement. Man, you guys are so smart. Now, stage number 3 is the discovery stage. This is a stage where your potential patients come in and then to find out what they need and how much it's going to cost. Right? This is a stage where your potential patient will determine if they're going to trust you and your team for the dental care or not. Right? We know that, so it's important to bond with our patient to create trust before we point out all the dental problems. We know that our patients make the decision based on emotion and justify with logic. In our practice, when our team assistant or hygienist takes our patients in for an exam, the first thing they do is they bond with the patients and they ask them some personal questions, like how many children they have and how long they live in the area. After that, they address the chief concern and gather some more information, such as the blood pressure, medical history, and the smile analysis questionnaire. And then after that, they take their x-rays, pictures, and they show their x-ray and pictures on the big screen TV. And they point out all the dental problems that they can see from those pictures and x-rays. Then they tell the patients what treatment the doctors will most likely recommend. So that's the key, right? What treatment the doctors will most likely recommend, so they wouldn't be forming the diagnosis. We want our patient to see what they have and what they need a couple of times. And then after that, when they're ready for us to come in and exam, I would come into the room and they would do a handoff of what they went over with the patients. And the first part of the handoff is the introduction. So they would say something like, Jennifer, this is Dr. Ho. Dr. Ho, this is Jennifer. Jennifer has been living in Roanoke, Texas for 5 years, and she has 3 children, and she was referred by one of her co-workers, Tiffany Johnson. Then she pauses and lets me talk. And I would say, hi, Jennifer, welcome to our practice. And Jennifer would say, I'm glad to be here. And we would talk about Roanoke and children for about 30 seconds. Now, if Jennifer were to say, nothing personal, doc, but I hate the dentist, then I would say, oh, you know what? I hate them too. And that would make them laugh. And I would go on to share my story. It all depends on the patients, right? But I would share with them that when I was in high school, I always wanted to be in the medical field. So I volunteered in a hospital. And at that hospital, there was a dental clinic. And every time I was there, I witnessed so many patients came in with excruciating pain and swollen faces. And when they came out, they felt better. So over time, dentistry became fascinating to me, so I applied to dental school, and now I'm a dentist. And that's why I know how my patients feel now. And that's why I try to be as gentle as possible. And we have a lot of referral patients at our practice. As a matter of fact, we even have some patients that drove 3 to 5 hours from different towns and states to see us. Right? And I also add that this is a private practice. We take great care of our patients here. So if you have any questions or concern while you're here or when you get home, please let us know. When we tell them that they can ask us any questions during the appointment or when they get home, they feel better. And when we tell them that we have a lot of referral patients at our practice, it creates even more trust and credibility for our practice. All that is the icebreaker and to bond with our patients. I know when patients come to dentists like Dr. Michael Tran, Dr. Michael Apanati, Dr. Sunny, they will stay with them because they're great at what they do. And then after that, I spent about a minute to educate our patients on dental health. And the reason I do that is to create value for the appointment. Because I know most dentists, they would go in and say, okay, no, you don't have anything, goodbye, or okay, these are the things that you need, or treatment plan coordinator will go over your treatment plan. So we do that to create value for the appointment and for patients to have some dental knowledge and references before we go over their condition and treatment. In this discovery stage, it's important that you listen to your patient's concern. And you need to look and sound confident and show that you care about your patients and their treatment. Now, the key in this discovery stage is to make sure your patient feel informed of what they need and feel inspired to want what they need. When our patients want what they need and they like and trust you, most likely they're going to accept the treatment plan. Now, 10 years ago, I learned from Dr. Michael Apanati that the true definition of case acceptance is when the patient accepts the treatment plan, schedule for an appointment, show up, pay, and refer everyone they know. If you think about that definition, to achieve that level of case acceptance, your patients have to have a great patient experience in your practice, and they have to like and trust you. There's no other way, right? Now that's Bernadette. Bernadette recently came into our practice for a smile makeover after she went to another dentist for 11 years, but stopped going there because of a bad experience. And then she went to another dentist to establish as a new patient, but never returned because she didn't think that the dentist was confident enough. So when she came to our practice, had a great patient experience and accepted the smile makeover that we proposed for her. And now she's a raving fan. As a matter of fact, she already referred 2 of her family members to our practice. And she would tell everyone out there about her experience. It is all about the patient experience. Now let's go to stage number 4. So what is stage number 1? Awareness. Stage number 2, engagement. Stage number 3, discovery. Very smart. Stage number 4 is the treatment. The critical thing to focus on in this stage is to make sure your patients feel comfortable during the treatment. And if you go in to perform a procedure that requires numbing, make sure you perform painless injection. Speaking of painless injection, I'd like to share with you a video.
Bro, ini apa?
Apa itu? Itu masih swabnya loh, guys. Iya, Pak.
Terus ya biar nggak kerasa, makanya nengoknya ke sana. Ih, bandel.
Oh, tadi Bapak ada pakai situ.
Oh, terus. Duh. Udah kayak ngomong diapa, kayak mau dipotong.
Coba, hadap sini, Pak.
Iya, sudah belum ya, Pak?
Ya, gitu aja ya.
Jangan bengkok gini, nanti jatuh ini bengkok. Jarumnya. Nengok sana. Nah. Yang ditarik kita dulu. Jangan apa? Jangan goyang. Jangan goyang.
The reason I share with you that video so everyone will remember to perform painless injection when you work on your patients. The key in stage number 4 is to make sure your patient feel comfortable because it's all about the patient experience. After the treatment, most likely your patient won't remember what you did for them, but they will remember the experience. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." It's all about the patient experience and how you made them feel. Now let's go to stage number 5, which is the ongoing care. This is the ongoing process to maintain your patient's oral health and to retain them as patients for life or until they move away. In this stage, it's important that you and your team must consistently deliver the best customer service possible so your patient will have a great patient experience every time they come in. If not, they may not have the kind of patient experience that they expected, and that could cause them to stop coming or to switch dentists. Dr. Michael LeBouf did a study on why customers quit. And these are the results. 1% pass away, 3% move away, 5% develop other business relationships, 9% leave for competitive reasons, 14% are dissatisfied with the products or services, but 68% quit because of an attitude of indifference toward the customer by the owner or employee. In the past, a dissatisfied customer or patient will tell about 10 people about their problem. These days, with all the social media platforms and review software online reviews, When a customer shares their complaints or problem on one or a few of those platforms, hundreds to thousands of people would know about it. So that's why it's important to focus on patient experience. That's the best way to retain the patients and to get more referrals, right? And that's also the best way to build a practice. Sometimes, these things sound like common sense, but common sense is not very common for a lot of people. So I'd like to share with you another video.
It's just, there's all this pressure, And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
No, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See,
out.
you're not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just... Sometimes it's like there's this achy... I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. All of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. If you would just...
Don't...
Now let's review the stages of the patient journey by reading this one Google reviews that one of our patients just left for our practice. If a smile was worth 1,000 words, my new smile versus my old smile would say it all and more. Gift to myself at 50. I feel like some years have been shaved off of me with just this smile makeover, new bridge and crowns. Thanks to Dr. Doe, the entire Affinity Smile staff. By the way, the patient didn't misspell Dr. Ho. That's my partner. After seeing one of their smile makeover pics on Facebook and offering a free consultation, plus also reviewing various reviews. What stage is that? Awareness. She saw our smile makeover on Facebook and read our reviews. I gave them a call. That's stage number 2, engagement. Even though I live in Arlington and they located further away in Roanoke, it was reading each dentist's bio and background that ultimately made me want to entrust them with my cosmetic dental needs. I was right. They truly care and are passionate about delivering quality work. That's stage number 3, discovery. She came in and discovered that we were nice. For all the dental work being performed, I never had to be sedated and didn't experience any pain with their normal numbing technique. That's stage number 4, the treatment. She came in for treatment and didn't experience any pain. Now it's the recommendation. I highly recommend Affinity Smiles, and I have to give a special thanks to Amanda, office manager. She knows my journey and hurdles to get to this point of smiling big again, and guided me with options on financing and insurance coverage. Forever grateful. When we can positively impact our patients through our work, and they had a great experience, they will be happier, your team will be happier, and you, as the dentist, will be happier. And as a result, you'll have a more successful practice. Thank you. That's my information. If any of you would like to get in touch with me, you can text or email me anytime. Okay? So thank you so much for your time.